stock equity ownership. People are seeing companies like Uber, Lyft go public. And I'm here with Chief Financial Officer of PHP Agency to discuss what is stock equity ownership. Ian, thanks for coming.
My pleasure, thanks for having me.
We're here at Dallas Cowboys Stadium, having a blast.
Amazing, yeah.
Living a dream here, buddy.
It is, this is great.
So Ian, your experience, CPA, you got all the credentials.
Yep.
What does stock equity ownership mean?
Equity ownership, it's basically, it represents ownership, right, in a company or an enterprise, and it's basically the foundation of American capitalism, right? It gives the opportunity for everybody to take a company at the entry level and get a little bit of skin in the game, and then hopefully grow with that company and really make a lot of money, right? Translate that into big wealth. The Bill Gates of the world, right? Microsoft started here and then is almost $1 billion, trillion dollar company, right? And look what there are hundreds and hundreds of millionaires that have been created out of Microsoft because of equity ownership. So.
Is there different styles and types of stock equity ownership?
Yeah, when you get pretty sophisticated with layers of capital structures, there's common equity, there's preferred equity, but the most common and what's traded on the public exchanges is common equity. It's what it's called, common stock. Yeah.
So what's the greater opportunity to amass that wealth? Is it in the Series A, B, C round of financing and funding, or is it when it goes IPO and then you buy the stock?
Well, your Series A, that's your first round of and so usually that's the cheapest round, right? Where your share price, where you're buying in, your share price is lower. So that's where you want to be in, right? You get into those lower share prices and then they grow over time to an IPO or just to some other kind of exit, whether it be an acquisition or a merger, something like that, yeah.
So we're talking about Uber and Lyft.
Yeah, sure, you had a lot of series. Actually, I think there were almost 20 rounds of financing in Uber. So the guys that were Series A, the first guys, they made it great. Guys number 20, maybe not so good, but still very good because they had a great IPO.
So really the opportunity is to get in early.
Absolutely.
Before it becomes a big deal.
Absolutely.
So what happens if it goes IPO and I start buying at $20 a share or the opening price in the market? Is the opportunity that great then?
Sure. Yeah. You still look at the Amazons of the world. Again, Microsoft is a great example. When those companies went public,
yeah.
And
I went in.
Yeah, their stock price was a fraction of what it is today, and the beauty is the stock splits and things like that occur over time.
Right.
That's when the stock split's like the best invention known to man because it's like brings that stock price back down and everybody just runs it back up. Of course, the companies are still growing.
Yeah.
The value that they're creating is still there, but that's the beauty of the equity ownership is that you get the share in that.
So when PHP Agency offers its associates as independent contractors stock equity ownership, is that a common thing that happens in the marketplace?
Not at all.
That's
not
a
at
fast
all.
answer.
It's a very unique. Even when I came here, I was very surprised that it was something that was done because you don't see that very often. You see it occasionally. Usually what you'll see is like an Uber. You had a bunch of attorneys that probably helped Uber out,
sure.
And they probably, instead of paying them cash because they didn't have a lot of cash, they paid them in stock. Right? You'll see that, but you don't see where the people that are actually contributing to the growth, the organic growth of the organization, you don't normally see, especially if they're independent contractors, you don't normally see them getting stock.
Really? So it's not a common thing? Because I remember early 2000s, everybody was leaving their jobs.
Well, they were employees of those companies, right? So if you're an employee of the company, they were doing that because they weren't paying you a lot and they were hoping on the upside. But again, for PHP, if you're an agent, you're out there independently producing and doing things, that's just not common. And again, even today, you're not seeing a lot of stock compensation plans because it's very costly to administer and companies want a lot more control. And so the more shares they distribute early on, the harder it is for them to control. So you just don't see that as much anymore.
The interesting thing about billionaires and people who have amassed a lot of wealth through their companies, they draw a lot of their income not from salary or ordinary income.
Of course, yeah.
They get it from stock equity ownership, like Elon Musk.
Absolutely.
So
what's Elon Musk get paid at Tesla? He gets $1 a year. Seriously. I think the stats just came out. The top 23 CEOs were making over $25 million a year, but there were 2 or 3 of them. One of them is Pierre Audemars, $1 a year, and then Tesla, Elon Musk, $1 a year. They're not making money from salaries. They're making money from their stock.
Because the tax,
absolutely,
instead of ordinary income tax, are getting capital gains.
Yep.
Awesome. So if you're a brand new person, they're looking at PHP Agency, they're already in the insurance industry, or they're considering coming aboard the PHP Agency to build a business, how significant is the opportunity to own stock equity of PHP?
It's very significant. I think first of all, being able to work with guys like you and Patrick and the company and the compensation structure that we have, that in its own right, I think is a very attractive opportunity to people. But to also have this opportunity to be able to earn equity through your performance, again, it's just not something that's being done, right? And so who does that? We do, right? And so that's, you know, if people understand that, and hopefully through this video and things like that, people will understand the real value and opportunity that arises from getting stock equity ownership, there's no question that PHP is the place to be.
So when we're looking at PHP's growth, a big company, a darling of Wall Street, grows at what percent per year?
You know, 10, 12%, maybe.
And that would be the darling of Wall Street.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's because that's good.
Yeah. Any insight you'd like to share in terms of the growth of PHP?
We're not growing at 10 or 12%.
Ah, dang.
Yeah, we're not growing at 20%. We're not growing at 30%. We're not growing at 40%. We're growing over 50% a year. So, and with the momentum that you got, the momentum because of events like this and bringing all these people together and more recruits coming in and more people being aware of the value of life insurance, the opportunity is amazing. I mean, we're this year we're projecting hopefully to be over 50% again, and companies love that.
If it was up to me, I want to grow 125% for obvious reasons.
Well, yeah.
Yes. That being said, this is Ian Benedict, Chief Financial Officer. Thank you so much for being part of this video.
My pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. So everything that Ian Benedict was talking about, our Chief Financial Officer at PHP Agency, is absolutely happening right now here. Third year in a row here, Dallas, Texas, trainer. And let's take a quick look around who's present. So, hey, let's take a quick look. Who is here? The MoneySmartMovement team, what's going on? All right. So the most important thing is getting ownership in our company here this year, and the people behind me have proved their worth in owning a piece of this company. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce the 2018 round of stock equity owners of PHP Agency. Let's take a look at who they are, where they're from, and what their previous career background was.
Hey, Tommy Clark out of Jacksonville, Florida. Second time signing these bad boys. Mortgage banking background. Six-figure income earner, yep.
Tony Martinez, South Florida, Fort Myers market. Second time equity round qualifier. Six-figure earner, former cook.
Hi, Jasmine and Ellis Swazo here out of Oak Brook, six-figure earners, former director of communications and engineer.
Hi, Ellis Swazo, engineer by trade out of Chicago, six-figure income earner and first round equity owner.
Hello, Sismay Avalar out of San Jose, California, six-figure earner. I was a former barista, first time equity, signing my papers.
Edgar Diaz out of San Jose, California, former Metro PCS manager, six-figure earner.
Sheena Sapaula, third time getting equity, seven-figure earner, former capital equipment sales.
Jonathan Mason, fourth time equity partner, equity signer. Former break dancer, now financer, living in Orlando, Florida.
All right, Jamie Musgrove out of Memphis, Tennessee, background in marketing sales. We're six-figure income earners, and this is our first time signing equity papers.
Edward Musgrove, Memphis, Tennessee office, first time signing the equity paperwork. Six-figure earner, marketing sales background.
Hi, my name is Anna Maria Rivera. I'm a six-figure earner. My background is in hospitality, so I did everything from front desk to housekeeping, and I'm a six-figure earner as well.
Victor Landor, Chicago, Illinois, as well as Oak Brook, Illinois. Come from a Head Start daycare, student aid teacher / Hoop Dreams, six-figure earner, qualified for equity ownership again this year already.
Lizette Garcia, Oak Brook office, second time qualifier, car sales and daycare provider.
Monique Welch, Atlanta, Georgia, former corporate HR exec, six-figure earner, first time signing equity papership.
Richard Welch, Atlanta, Georgia as well, and this is our first time signing equity ownership. I am a former real estate professional, 20 plus years there. And
Chris Richardson out of San Diego, California, former background, 8-year vet and music producer. Coming from an environment where most people don't make it past 25 years old, so it's important to be signing these papers. It's 2 times doing this.
So here's the big significance. This last 30, 45, 60 days, Uber and Lyft has gone public and has made thousands of new millionaires. But here's the thing we have all in common. We don't come from tech. We don't come from Silicon Valley. We don't come from Wall Street. We come from Main Street. And if you're looking for an opportunity just like many of them, hey, by the way, have you guys ever signed any stock equity ownership from any of your previous careers before? No. Zero. None. Ever. Never. The hotel never gave you a chance to own a piece of the hotel, Anna? The pre-kinder care never gave you a chance to own a piece of the kinder care? Stryker Medical, the babe never gave you stock equity ownership of selling hospital beds? The place where you're cooking, they never give you an opportunity to own a piece of that restaurant? The mortgage company you're at never give you a piece of the pie? Nothing. Director of communications, whoever you communicate a message for, they give you stock of that company? Engineer? What about you, Mr. Engineer Suazo? You're making sure people are safe on railroads, right? Yep. But never give you ownership of their company. Not at all. Barista, making coffee for people, right, Iris? They never give you a piece of the coffee shop.
No, they give me some coffee, but no.
A bag of coffee, that's about it, but no stock. What about you, Edgar? Metro PCS store, any ownership in Metro PCS franchise? So, we are ready to sign the 2018 round of stock equity ownership documents. Kind of like how high school kids have a signing day of what college you're going to. Kind of like how NFL players have a signing day of signing their first pro contract. We, entrepreneurs, are having our signing day of stock equity ownership in the fastest growing financial marketing organization, not just in the United States, but in the world. Are you guys ready to sign these documents? Yeah. All right, so everybody, hold your packets up in front of you. Well, all right, here we go. Got your packets up in front of you? Yeah. Hold them up? Yeah. All right, everybody open up your documents. Open up the envelope. Open it up. 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 Open them up. Open them up. Everybody hold your pen. You guys ready? Yes. As our Spanish friends would say, firme, aquí. Sign away, baby. Sign away, baby. Sign away. Sign away, baby. Sign away. All right. It's official. I'll do it. Do that again. Back to Ian. For somebody watching this video right now, saying, man, how do I get a piece of this company? I'm working hard, I'm overworked, I'm underpaid, I don't have a shot at stock equity ownership in my company, and I'm working really hard. What do? Reach out to us. I'll give you an example, really quick here. Jasmine and El Suazo came to us this time last year. They were trainees and associates. What happened a year later to you guys?
Became marketing director, six-figure earners, and equity owners of the company.
Crazier things that happen. Who's gonna be the next Jasmine El Suazo? Could it be you? If so, drop us a message, drop us a comment. And by the way, there's a lot of people in line. Like for example, take a look around. Who else wants stock equity ownership of the company? With that being said, thanks for tuning in. If you've been watching this on Facebook, make sure you click like to follow our business page. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe, hit notifications to be alerted the next time we upload our next episode. And until we meet again, continue to live smart, continue to love smart, and be money smart today. Woo!